This is part 4 of our tutorial on how to draw a room in 3 dimensions using linear perspective. By now you already know how to create some depth with the thickness of the walls, drawing a floor line behind the doorway so it looks like you go into another room, some thickness on the windows, things like that. This tutorial you'll be learning 3 things: how to make a throw rug, add some floor molding, and then stairs. We'll start with the rug, it's the easiest. Start wherever you want your rug, and the shift key, and draw a horizontal line. Change it to the thickness. I'm going to use 3, but you can use 2. Click off, add another line from the edges or the ends of your horizontal line. Draw them to the dot, change the thickness, and do another one. Now these kind of things here where the line doesn't meet up perfectly, I'll fix them the very last stage of this project before we start painting them. I actually don't like the fact that it's not meeting up to the dot. I'm going to fix this right away though. All right. So I'm just draw the right side of the rug, and then we'll be ready to finish it up. Okay. Change the line thickness. And now we need a horizontal line that's parallel to the front of the rug. So figure out how far back you want your rug. Shift key. And there you go. The last step to finish that is to bring back your vanishing lines so they match up to the back horizontal line. So that's a throw rug. If you want to do round ones, it's a little harder with this program. So there's a throw rug. Chair moldings are the next thing I would suggest. And again, that's optional. You don't have to do it, but these are little things that show off your skills. So put your cursor on the dot this time to create the floor molding. And you just figure out the height you want. Okay. Thickness. I'm going to make this a 2. And then I'm going to bring that vanishing line back. Okay. Now, this is the molding that's facing inward in the room. Molding wraps around walls, so I'm just going to create a little molding on the edge of this wall, and that's going to be horizontal because the bottom edge of this wall is horizontal. So shift key, and then just bring it back. Okay. Change it to whatever width you want. So now we're going to finish up the, technically we should do it on the back wall. So we will put a horizontal molding like that. Okay. And because it's far away, I'm going to leave that line thin. And now we're going to draw our right side molding. Try to get it the same thickness that's on the left side of the room. Now I have an issue here. It should be meeting up, so I'm just going to move that vanishing line just down a touch. Because our vanishing line or points are kind of big. I don't like how this is too thick or not tall enough, so I'm going to adjust it. Again, when you're drawing, in art, you always go back and forth, because there's going to be mistakes. All right, that's better. Now I can just adjust this thickness of the line and bring it back. So then we just have to do 2 more things to finish this vanishing or this molding. We have to wrap around the corner or the thickness of the wall, horizontal line this time. Okay. And then we have to draw the molding in the foreground. And then that's done. Start at the dot, and then I would line it up to the molding that's in the back part of the room so you have it consistent. Now because it's the way in the foreground, your molding is going to look thicker, but I think that's too thick, so I'm going to bring it down just a touch. Okay. And there's your molding. So I'm going to bring that vanishing line back, and we're good to go. Zoom back out. And there you are. The last thing I want to show you is some stairways. Super easy. It looks hard, but it really isn't. I don't like the color of that. Okay. So in this case, you're going to start with a rectangle. So insert, shape, rectangle. And then from the bottom of the thickness of the wall, you're just going to draw a rectangle and drag upward. I'm going to make it just a little taller. Okay. Change the thickness. Again, I'm going to use 2 now. This doesn't line up perfectly, so I'm just going to adjust it. And there we go. And I don't like the bottom because it's going beyond the wall. So we'll just adjust that too. All right. What we need to do now is create the top of this step. So you're going to start with a vanishing line from the dot. And you're going to drag it all the way over. I'm going to go slightly above the rectangle because in theory that step probably would go into the next room a little. So I'm going to change the thickness to 2, and then I'm going to bring that vanishing line all the way back. So there's our first step. Now we want to create the second step. So off the vanishing line that we just drew, you're going to draw a rectangle. Off the vanishing line. So you drag up and over. Okay, so there's the side facing you. You can do some adjusting. I don't like it gray. So there's 2 steps, but now we need the part that you would step on next. So your second step needs a top part of it. So we're going to do another vanishing line, start at the dot, drag to the corner of the rectangle you just drew. It doesn't meet, so I'm going to go to the view, zoom in more. I can see what I'm doing. There you go. Adjust the thickness. Bring our vanishing line back. And there's your second step. Again, go back to insert to create the third step. And again, it has to be on the vanishing line, and you're going to have to adjust how thick you want it to be. Go to 2. See the steps? Now I would probably adjust the thickness here because I don't like it. This is way too big a step, so I'm going to just make it bigger. And that means I can bring this step forward. Actually, I'll leave it. So the last, this is probably only going to be able to see 3 steps. If you make the height of the step a little narrower, you could probably get more steps in there. So the last step line that we need is on that tiny rectangle. Change the depth or the thickness, and then we bring the vanishing line back. And there's the basics of stairs. Okay. To make a chair rail, I just use a rectangle, or not a chair rail, yeah, railing. And then you would just drag a regular one that's really skinny and then rotate it. So you'll just try to mimic the angle that the stairs are in. Okay, and there you go. The basics of some stairs. Oh, this would actually go beyond. And this is where you could send it to the back. So you go to Range, Order, Send Backward. Or what you could do is draw another rectangle that's covering up the railing. I'm just going to do a really quick thing to show you because you can hide things quickly without redrawing something. So I'm going to draw a rectangle and fill it white, and then make sure the stroke is white. So see how it's kind of erased? And I'm going to bring it back just a touch. So then we can just keep adjusting like that. All right, for time reasons, I would just go back and adjust it on my own, but for now I'm just going to get rid of that. So there's your 3D room.